Hey, Frank, we all started without you.
This meeting is being recorded.
We're now being recorded.
All right, we gotta stop talking.
He got here. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is Rana.
Hi,
Hi,
Ron.
Rana.
Hello, Ron.
Hello.
Hi, Sumner.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Frank.
Hello, Judith.
Hi, Frank. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Wally.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Frank, and hi, Denise, because I know she's going to be watching these afterwards.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi,
Hi,
Denise.
Denise. Hi, Jenny.
everyone.
Hi, Jenny.
Well, she's got what, 2 more weeks to wait until.
Yeah, until the daylight savings time changes for us too. So then she'll be back in sync, and then she can still see us. But right now
Oh.
she's still working because they changed their time.
Also,
This is-
Sidra left in early October. Do you remember when she said she would be back?
I don't remember that. I remember that she left, but I don't remember when she said she'd be back.
I gotta mute.
I don't know if you've seen the comments under the videos when I post them, but there are some people who watch them every week and comment almost every
Oh,
week.
that's fun. Oh, I'll have
That's
to.
nice.
And they feel like they're a part of the group too. So we should say hi to all of
Yeah.
them.
Have them write a little introduction. We can read them off.
I remember doing that before I joined you every week, and that's exactly the way I felt, and that's why I joined, because I thought I would feel comfortable amongst you.
Well
that's
said.
nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Even-
we're
even
nice.
with-
We don't fight. We like
Yeah.
everybody. It's like we love people to join us.
Even with my weird way of saying things sometimes.
Well, at least you speak multiple languages. I only speak one, kind of strangely sometimes.
So it's 1.5 for me, almost 2.
But you're
I
a
think
lot
I'm
closer to 2 than
1.25.
I am.
One of them is, it goes by the handle NY Knitter. I suppose New York
New
Knitter.
York knitter, yeah.
And she comments almost every week. So let's say hi to New York Knitter.
Hi, New York
Hi,
knitter.
New York knitter.
Join us.
Came from Boston.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. It's not just the 9 of us here today, but many, many people that we don't
Other
know.
people that are
Yeah.
watching. Yeah.
Right.
But it's funny, Rhonda, because they know us.
Yes, they do.
And then Fritties NZ, she said, or he or she said, I must say, I feel like a fly on the wall listening to you all chatting away.
I wonder and see if that's New
New
Zealand.
Zealander.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then Alice Henderson says she loves the meetings. So these
Oh,
people,
good. Hi,
they're
Alice.
just
Hi,
enjoying
Allison.
joining us virtually. So
Yeah.
we welcome you all and hope you'll come join us live sometime if you can.
Yeah.
It's a big knit along.
It is a big knit along.
It is.
It is. I love it. I'm so lucky I stumbled into it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel so lucky that you all stumbled into it.
Are we in a hotel room, Frank?
Oh, yes. I'm in Carmel this
He's done it
weekend.
again.
Oh, God.
Nice.
My dear friend Bucci, some of you might know
Oh, yeah, I know
his
Gucci.
history.
Yeah.
He got married about a month ago, and someone is throwing him a
Oh.
marriage celebration
Oh,
here
nice.
in Carmel Valley. And so we came down
Fun.
to go to that.
Fun.
Yeah, I remember he came on one of the early meetings.
Yes, because
long
he'd heard
time
about
ago.
you all for years and he just
Mhm.
decided to stick his head in.
And so he stuck his head in and we got
I
to actually
encouraged
meet
him to
him.
do that anyway. And
Fun.
it was about a year and a half ago.
Wow,
he was
Wow, it really,
available.
time flies.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I remember keeping up on your posts of all those circumstances that leading up till now. So
Well, the happy ending is that he met this wonderful woman and they dated for about a year before they moved in together after about 6 months and then got married after knowing each other about a year.
Well, that's nice.
That was in
That's
early
sweet.
September, I believe. I don't remember the exact date.
Oh, that's great.
Hmm.
mm,
All the best.
Mm.
You all should knit him blankets.
Okay, Ron, here's the beginning. I just did my cast on across the front. This is a little back shoulder, little weeny back shoulder.
good you
There's the
go.
other back shoulder down here. And then I
Yeah.
just did the cast on 30. That's why I was
That
kind of
is a little
whispering under my
teeny
breath.
one.
I was trying to count. Yeah, I ended up by making the size 5 instead of 6 after I checked her measurements the other day. So
It's funny going from making a child size like that little cast the
I
shoulders
know,
that
like,
big,
this is
the
little
one
weeny.
that fits me where the shoulders that big.
Uh-huh.
Cast on 6 stitches. Okay. Cast on 25 stitches.
And what yarn are you using, Cindy?
Or just a second, 26,
I know,
23. Okay, I do have 30. I could,
Right on the going
I'm
line.
using, this is the Jody Long Chow, and
There
this
you
is
go.
the hot fudge
Oh.
pattern that Ron did based on Frank's, the Phrancko, and it's the one that has the chocolate at the top
Oh, I
and little
remember.
drips.
Oh,
Yeah,
Looks
Yeah,
so
good.
that's
that's
the one.
fun.
So I'm test knitting for him.
I'm excited.
So
I hope you have
Well-
a good time with it.
I'm sure I will. She was here today for a little bit this morning, and so I showed her the picture in the yarns, and she's like, "Oh, Nanny, I love that." So it is. It's great.
That's fun. Yeah, I'm going to try to work out a class to teach the Phrancko Sweater.
Oh, yay!
Going to be December.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Are you gonna do it in the yarn shop?
going to do it at the yarn shop. So I'm going to have everybody go in and
Mhm.
bring a yarn, do a swatch, get their measurements, get accustomed to the website. And then after the swatches are all blocked and ready, that's when we can start and count the rows and stitches and then put the measurements into the website, pick the sweater that they want, and then we'll go, because I think, because I've done each of them except for the Henley,
Mhm.
they're so similar enough, it doesn't matter what one you pick, you could do the in the same class.
Just
Mhm, yeah.
as a like, I don't know, unsolicited advice. I hate it.
I love unsolicited advice. Why I brought it up, Ron.
The pattern, the happy baby pattern that is the sample pattern on
Yep.
the front page of the site takes very little time in terms of the investment of literally making stitches, not necessarily learning the technique,
Okay.
to make just that much of the yoke, which is the majority of the Phrancko technique. So in the weeks where you have people selecting yarn, making swatches, taking body measurements, everyone could also have a little ball of 220 and work just a
The shoulder.
swatch
Mhm.
that is
Yeah.
the top of that happy baby yoke.
Oh, yeah, true. Because then you
They don't need to knit the whole
every
happy
stitch-
baby, but taking the time to just, here's how you pick up the shoulder, here's how the top of it looks. It looks like nothing for
yeah,
until
looks like
you are
nothing like a
here,
skill.
and then suddenly it's a sweater.
Right.
know.
And then you've done every stitch that you need to know how to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's good advice.
And I can add to that advice. I think that's really good advice to get them through the process, and so they're not afraid of starting the sweater.
Right.
But you're inevitably going to have somebody, more than one probably, who say, well, now that I've started this baby sweater, I think I'll just finish the baby sweater.
What?
And you
Right,
really
but-
want to introduce them to making a sweater for themselves so they understand how it fits.
Yeah.
Right.
Or have them make a sweater for a real baby and realize that that pattern does not fit a regular baby.
That's
It's
right.
just
That
a
pattern
tiny,
is not made
it's
for
just
any
a small
measured baby.
sample. It's not made for a
Right.
regular baby. You know,
Just
if
cut
they
it
want to make
off
a little
after-
one. they
Cut the
can do-
PDF off after half of the sleeve shaping, and then they'll have to go find it if they want to knit the whole thing. Mention where you got it.
That's funny.
That's kind of cruel, actually.
Yeah, but I think that would actually do it. And because I think when you start something new, it can be a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise, you wouldn't be taking a class at a yarn shop.
Yeah.
I've just finished a first round of classes, and it's funny how nervous people get and how apologetic they get about not knowing how to do it yet. It's like it would be
Well, you're
like,
here.
I don't know what would possess me to schedule a knitting class and to put in the requirements, please already know how to do all this.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like, come in able to do it, give me $75.
Right.
And then what? I don't know.
Yeah,
But I was
you're
gonna
supposed to
say,
know it all. Yeah.
have you seen the Phrancko swatch that I made with the
Yes.
an accompanying
I
video?
started-
Yeah,
I
on YouTube,
started
yeah.
these meetings.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, a couple of weeks before you started the swatch, you were just developing the swatch.
Yeah. You can feel free to take that and distribute it in your classes if it would be helpful. Just
Yeah, that would,
consider that
that would be
blanket
another
permission.
excellent way to start, because then
Yeah.
they get practice
the-
doing everything that they will need to do in the sweater. Isn't that right, Ron?
And they get their swatch done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Right.
because
And they get this
still
swatch
for a lot
done
of people
count
that
it.
they have so much resistance to doing the swatch.
Yeah.
Right.
So if
Like,
it would
no,
be
I'll
helpful
just
for
knit
you,
the whole sweater and it won't fit. It's like,
Just-
no, do a swatch.
do a swatch.
Usually in sweater classes, I will start and do a swatch of a sock,
Oh,
because if you can do a sock, you can knit anything.
that's funny.
I
Yeah.
still can't do a sock, Sumner. I don't
You
like
can
that
do a sock.
analogy.
You can do a sock.
I've only got the leg. I'm nervous about doing the heel. Well, do you know about the heel? What's it called? What's the first part called? The heel, the flap, the
The hair
flap.
flap.
I still haven't even done the flap, because you said that it was like a normal one, and then I'm looking at it in the capboarding, and she's got all these slip things and everything, and I don't know how to do
Okay.
that.
Oh,
It-
those are just stitch patterns.
Slip, knit, slip, knit, slip,
Slip
knit.
knit, yeah,
Okay.
slip knit, slip knit,
All it
slip
is.
knit.
It
I don't know.
creates, it
But it was
creates,
like, I'm looking at it and it's like, I can't visualize this. I don't know what part of my flip this is even going on.
so.
I don't know,
this is-
Cindy, according to this note, you're a knitting prodigy, so.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So I
We-
should have
we
gone
no
into the
longer
sock
believe
knitting
all your
class
self-doubt.
knowing everything, right?
Yeah, after
Cindy,
the
just
speaking,
Give it
After
up.
the
We are not
speaking-
gonna
Yeah.
believe you
Speaking
anymore.
was easy. It held together. I was just scared of speaking, but speaking was really easy. You just cut it with scissors.
and this is just a heel flap. If you don't do it right, you can pull it out.
Yeah,
Well, I know, but for that, it's like the thing for the heel flap. I am dyslexic, and I can't visualize where it's going to go and where you have to like turn it and pick it up and stuff. That's the hard part for me.
Well,
Which way it goes? It's
look
3D.
Look at regular socks. They have that too. But they're just really fine stitches. But they have that gusset.
yeah.
That's the thing.
So I just have to do it and follow the instructions, and it works out. You have to trust the pattern. I learned to do that with Frank, that it's kind of like, okay,
Yeah, you
I
just,
can't visualize where the little weird shoulder thing is, but Frank says do it and says put the little marker on the right shoulder, and if you do that, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
and you were fine. Right. I did the same thing.
I still do that.
I do that too.
Yeah.
Here it
That,
is.
to me,
Putting
that
on
is
this
the
little
most
baby
complicated
sweater.
part of the
And-
sweater,
and I
trying to
have a
figure out
little-
which
I
is
have
the
a
right
little-
and the left.
I have
Yes.
a little, it has a little R on it. I have
Oh,
my
isn't that
very own little
fun?
marker that has a little R,
Aren't you
so that
cute?
I know that that's the right one.
When my sister and I were doing Taekwondo together about 10 years ago, both of us have a thing where it's difficult for us in a pinch to identify right from left.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
I
yes.
just, I don't know. They both make an L. I don't know. But my sister would paint her right toenails red.
oh, there you go.
So,
That's it.
That's a good idea.
so when she knew which leg to kick when by checking her toenails.
That's very funny.
And then I would just do what she did.
Cindy, my husband just brought me a sock.
A sock. Okay, good, good.
If you knit the tube, I need
I've
more.
knit that much. I've knit that much.
Okay.
And it looks good.
So if you knit
And I
the
put it on my
tube
leg. It fits so
to
far. It's
here,
good.
to
Yeah,
here,
that's where I
right?
am. That's where I am.
now
I
you
can even
divide
show you.
the stitches in one needle on each front and back.
I did that. So I have that much done.
So now you leave the front, you don't do anything. Now you're just knitting back and forth the back.
Sumner, I think your lamp is blowing you out.
Oh. Thank you.
Of course, now there's no light.
Now there's no
I
light.
didn't help.
So, well, you know,
There.
welcome.
Oh, now
to
I can see it
England.
there. You got to a place where you
Is
can
that
see it.
better?
If you get
Okay.
it back. There we
Yeah,
go.
there
Now
we
we can see it.
So this is just straight on one needle back and forth. That's the back. Okay.
And so it does the whole needle, does that
One-
back part
one
of the
needle.
heel.
Back and forth, and the front is on its own needle.
Right, just sitting there.
Right.
Yeah,
Now you do a short row mini heel.
Okay, and I know how to do
then
short
you-
rows,
then
not
you
the
end
heel,
it.
but I know how to do short rows.
Yeah. Then you end it. You put a stitch marker in the middle.
Okay,
Okay. So when you continue around to the first side,
mhm,
you're going to pick up a stitch in each one of the heel flap rows
okay.
until you get to your second needle. Right? Because
And
now
then you're
you-
just working,
now
you're just
you're gonna
working,
work in the
again,
back.
still on the, but at first, when you're picking up, you're just working back and forth, still on the bottom.
and you pick up, you're going up the side.
Okay,
Now, just like in a Phrancko, when you're joining a sleeve and you want to eliminate the
right.
sleeve,
I know how to do the little twisted,
do the little
SS tail,
twisted
that kind of
stitch.
stuff, yeah. Mhm.
You knit across the front needle, which is in pattern.
Right,
Now you do one of those underarm stitches.
Yeah.
And you pick up down the sock row. And then you're just going to knit to the marker that you put in the middle of your short rows.
mhm,
Now you knit one row around.
okay.
Your increases for your gusset are like a
So
triangle.
that's like, the gusset is like a little triangle
Right
piece,
here.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
right
Okay.
here, yeah. I do mine every single round. On her pattern, she skips one,
Okay,
okay? I have a really high instep,
I have high end steps too.
so I find that it works out better for me if I pick up on every single round,
Okay,
okay? So it tightens the sock up as I'm
mhm,
going, right? So it's quicker. And then your front needle, you stay in pattern
right,
from the beginning
all the way down.
to the toe.
Okay,
Your back needle, I do flat,
just stockinette.
just stockinette flat
Okay, all right, okay,
and in pattern. So it's like joining your sleeves. You pick up one side, make a join. You can put a marker or not. I don't. Go across the front, put a marker or not, doesn't
do
matter.
the little twisty thing and then go down.
Yeah. And then
Okay,
now you're just knitting in the round and the
Okay.
sock comes out the other end.
okay. And the toes don't bother me or scare me. It's like, the toes to me is it's kind of like it's the top of a hat or something.
Yeah, that's
or
just a
like the
Kitchener.
top of a mitten. I mean, I can do that.
It's like a mitten. It's a Kitchener join, right?
Yeah, I can
And-
do that.
And then these are just decreases on either side.
Okay,
It's a decrease, knit one, decrease.
okay.
And
Done
around,
there?
yeah,
Well,
Are-
we'll see
are
how
you-
far I get.
Are you now knitting your socks with a number 1 needle?
I am. This is on a 2.
Okay.
I have because thank you, Jenny, wherever you went, I can't see you. But Jenny was, I'm so glad she told me that. This sock that I just knit just fits perfect. Like I could wear it in dress shoes.
So now you did it with the, I was thinking you were doing it with a 0 or something.
I did it on zeros, the same exact
Yeah.
sock, pretty much. I
Okay.
didn't rib it. I stock knit the whole sock around. I did a
Mhm.
1x1 rib, and then I did stockinette all the way down,
Okay.
and the sock just fits beautiful.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
I have not tried the fish lips kiss heel yet.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna pick that up. This next sock is still gonna have to be the Arna from Arna and Carlos heel, which I like. It's okay. It's simplistic, but it looks nice.
When you do the fish lips kiss heel, it is so much easier than a heel and flat, because all it is a short row heel and you're done. So you get to the either from the bottom or to the top, and you stop, you do your short row heel, and then you just go round and round and round again.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
picking up or anything along those lines.
Yeah, that's nice. But I just love it. I could put it in a dress shoe. It's a lovely sock, it's really nice.
Mhm. It's nice and smooth. Well, I actually have a Phrancko kind of question. When you join the front of the neck or even the back of the neck after you've done your shoulders, you you're supposed to do a cable cast on, but you're doing it from let's see, I'm gonna try to get the right thing. You knit across, at least for the baby sweater, you knit across for the left shoulder, then you cast on, and then you turn it to the wrong side, cast on, and then knit
And then you
the
pick
right
up.
shoulder. Well, then you knit the right shoulder. So it goes all together and it comes out and it's fine. But does anybody I've done it on a couple of them now that I actually do a pearl cable cast on, because I like how the little edge lays. It looks
Oh, the little ridge to pick up.
like
at
the
the end.
knit
I
thing.
have never tried that. That's interesting. But when I make child size ones, even though I never get them to actual children, I use the cable. They're all models in the shop. I use the cable cast on the back neck, but all the stitches I cast on the front neck, I tend to use a backward loop.
Now, see,
Because
for all the ones that I've done with, and they have gone to actual kids.
Yeah.
I've always used
they stretch
the
over
cable
the
cast on in the front and the back.
Yeah.
But
The
for
reason I
last
don't,
several I've
the
done
reason
with-
I don't try to do it in pattern where you're doing a
pearl-wise one.
pearl version
Yeah.
when you're on the wrong side is that the whole thing's getting covered up when you pick up stitches.
Well,
for
it
the
does get
neckline
covered
anyway.
up, and I
So
know
you can't see what,
wouldn't
you
have
can't
to,
see
but
that row.
I just like it to be very, very neat and tidy looking.
Yes.
There we go. See,
Oh, that
it
is
looks
so
very neat and
cute.
tidy.
Oh,
It
there
does
you
look
go.
very neat. It's so weeny. It's so weeny. You can see next to me how tiny it is.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
But yeah, so that's so. But
Yeah.
I just wondered if anybody else did that. So I thought that was kind of-
No.
I've never done that. Now, I
'Cause
didn't.
I don't know why well, probably it was something that I read in level 1 or level 2 where I was reading about different cast-ons.
Mhm.
And that was one that was listed and I thought, oh, I wonder how that would look because then it would, match the stitch and blah, blah, blah. But I know it's enclosed when you pick up. It's to the inside when you pick up, so you don't see it, but I just liked that it looked cute.
It's actually what am I trying to say? I think knitters tend to be perfectionist,
Yeah.
especially.
Oh,
if
not
you-
me, Frank. I don't know who you're
And we
talking
want
about.
everything to be exactly right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what really bothers me, but I try to ignore it because I don't know another way to do it. And that is those cast-ons from the two sides of the neck are not on the same row.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
Because you
They're
have
not-
to knit
That bothers
across
me
and
too,
cast
Frank.
on and then not do cast on the other side and keep
Right.
knitting and then turn it around and then put the cast on the row, next row down on the other side.
Yeah.
I can't see that you can see that at all in the pattern.
It took me a minute to
It
cope with
bugs
that.
me.
Yeah. It did. It took me a minute to cope with that, but I actually really like it. You know, I'm like, that was one of those things that I had to just do.
Yeah.
Like just do it and leave it. Right. And it does. It's beautiful.
Well, because it does totally fine, and it doesn't show at all.
No.
At
There's-
all.
It all
Yep.
works out totally fine. So
Yep.
it's cool.
You have to have trust.
It's when,
Yes, you have to trust the
Yes.
pattern.
Yeah.
it's
and
when
trust
the
the designer.
perfectionism works against you.
Yeah. I
It
know.
really
when-
doesn't have to be exactly the same row. Nobody's gonna see it. It'll never show. It's okay, Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we had one student when you came to do your workshop here at the shop who reversed her cast on to cast on purlwise,
Oh,
so at the shoulder, so that there wouldn't be the cast on, even though it was going inside the
oh, right.
shoulder,
Oh,
but
going
just
the
as
other
a
way.
point of principle to start it cast on in stockinette.
Yes.
Do a purlwise cast on, so it's knit on that side, even though it's going into the sweater.
Of course, the other thing that can bother perfectionists and has bothered me, and I haven't figured out anyway, that's the dreaded 11s you get when you pick up in the middle of every stitch. And I hate the name dreaded 11 because every one of my sweaters has it and it's not terrible, but it's viewed as really terrible. And you can't ever have them in any of your swatches, Cindy, for the TKGA.
Well, I know for the
Swatches.
TKGA, but what they're doing is they're doing it as a particular way of seaming so that
That's
the
right.
stitches continue across the seam. But you're not doing it like that.
Well, my newest sweater and maybe the last two, I have experimented with picking up between the stitches. And
Yeah,
then
I
you've
mean,
got
you-
this
you could
major
do that.
adjustment at one end or the other where you have to skip a stitch and a half.
Right.
Well, it is,
And-
it's where it
and-
sticks out and does that. That doesn't work.
It-
And the other thing
yeah,
I think with when you're actually sewing in the stitches like that, that is really Kitchenering. And so that is going to have more flex and a little bit more stretch. And that's not something that you want specifically in
I hadn't thought of
this
that.
shoulder seam. You want that to be very stable so that your sleeve doesn't go down like that.
That's
Yeah. And
right.
it is very stable.
And it is very stable. And
Well, I
it-
think the fact that it's a cast on edge to begin with makes it stable.
it does
Yeah.
it does help, but I would
I do
think
pick
that,
up
that
between the
Kitchenering it would
stitches.
make,
Yeah, so I do pick up between the stitches, and I can't see where you're talking about the problem with the one extra at the end. So
You know, okay, you pick up one stitch in the selvage stitch. And then you have to pick up a stitch between the selvage stitch and the first stitch. So that's only a half stitch away. And then when you pick up between all the other stitches and get to the other end, you have a selvage stitch and a full stitch left when you've already got just one more stitch to do.
I have.
So
one
if you're going to
here.
pick up in
Well,
the
I do then,
selvage
'cause
stitch,
I've
you're gonna skip the stitch and the gap.
I have one
that-
here that I knit between the stitches that shows how I had to adjust. So my That's my shoulder seam right there.
Mm,
And just
Uh-huh.
some fun
It
extras.
does make a really nice smooth seam, I have to say. I really
Yeah,
like
I kind of wish I hadn't done it because I did all
Oh.
of this to make it look like a pieced sweater.
Oh,
But I came up with that idea after I had already experimented with this. But you live, you learn. So because they were a half a stitch off, let's see. I think you can see it most clearly here. There is a half stitch
Yep.
it just
turned to
kinda
the
sticks
inside
out.
here
Mhm, Yep.
and a full stitch turned to the inside here.
yes.
And the same goes, but the opposite on the neckband.
Other side. Mhm.
There's a half stitch turned to the inside, a full stitch turned to the inside here.
That's right.
So I lose a full stitch and a half of each side, and it winds up looking normal, but you do have to make that adjustment.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Right.
see where you mean. Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm with you now as to where I've got the half stitch one side and the bigger stitch the other side.
So when you have the dreaded 11s, if we just pretend it's a pirate, and it means the dreaded 11s are like cool and tough.
Well, I think they are tough. I think they are a little bit more stable.
Yeah, and they,
Doing it
I
that way.
mean, they give a visual line that looks like a seam,
A
which we
seam.
expect
Mhm.
visually in sweaters, stylistically. But yeah, you just pick up in a straight column when you have the 11s, but you have to jigger your pickup to have it asymmetrical on both sides of the seam to get it to look like a contiguous piece of fabric on from the outside.
But none of you are picky.
All a matter of taste. Well,
No,
I
of
do
course
not
not,
care
Tony.
about how
Why
it
would
looks,
you-
but I love to
None of-
experiment.
None of us
that
are
about it?
perfectionists or picky. No, none of us.
I'm just experimental. I like to try things. It's just a really big swatch.
That's very fun.
Well, I had Jody try on the for blue, the blue V-neck, and because both the sleeves are done and everything, it fits her perfect and she loves it. So thank you
Good.
everyone for making that pattern.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
I'm back to the you can see how long it is. I'm back to the body. So
Where is she?
but all the sleeves
Me.
are done.
Oh,
Back to the
wait.
body.
Yeah, Frank.
Hey, I'm a little slow here.
Back to the body,
looks
back to the
amazing.
body. It is, and she loves the yarn and said just, oh, how soft it is. I've got the sleeve turned to the
Isn't that just the best yarn, huh?
It is the most lovely yarn. This is again I even match. That's right.
Wait,
It is
you match.
Jody Long Chow. And
Uh,
so I'm
That's great.
sitting
Beautiful
down.
cables and stuff too.
We just
I
did
would
a
think it
full
would be.
Jody Long
just-
restock.
It's just a very nice round yarn.
Mhm.
It does really well. And it's super soft and lovely to knit with. So
We've talked about this yarn so much. Would you write its name in this chat and I will make sure it goes into the comment.
yeah, here's the thing, and I can
Up, up, up.
do that.
Jody
Does that come out
Long.
backwards to
Wow.
you guys? It looks
No.
backwards
No, it's
to me.
right.
Is
Yeah.
it right to you?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's Jody
Jody
Long
Long.
Chow. I will write it in the
No, that's okay. I
in the
think that
chat.
did it. Now,
Okay,
was there
good.
something about the weight of the yarn? You talked about maybe had the wrong weight and is this the yarn?
No, that
Oh,
was a
that's a different
different
one.
yarn, which we will not name right now because people would get it wrong. Get the
I
name
see.
wrong.
Okay.
This was
Okay.
the Jody Long Chow.
And
The
what
other one that
weight
you're
yarn is
talking
that?
about,
Is it worsted or DK or what?
I would say it's 22. Is it DK run or
I
would you say
think
it's worsted?
pretty worsted.
I think it's more worsted.
yeah, I think it's like a
For
4.
my gauge, it's just about 20.
But I did
It's
recently
20,
see it on a list of DK yarns on a
Yeah.
shop website or like a
But
group
yeah,
of
but it's
shopkeepers.
more of
I thought
a.
it was weird. It
What
seems
size needle are you
Here it
using?
is again,
6
my hand
or 7?
to worsted. I'm using a 7.
yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
when I'm
so-
knitting the baby sweater, in order to get the gauge that really tight knitter Ron got, I'm
Yeah.
using a 6. And I did do a nice big swatch, and it's nice on a 6 too. So I could knit it on a 6 or a 7. But yeah. But
Yeah.
I love the yarn, so it's being great.
So it's a big DK or a small
Right.
worsted.
Or a light
Worsted,
worsted,
yeah.
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 Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting 20 stitches to the inch with a 7.
So
So
it's right at that border.
that's very standard worsted.
But yeah, we just got boxes and boxes of Jody Long yarns. And so Perrin was busy all day yesterday doing a big restock. It was amazing how much of the Andiamo light was gone. It's so full now, but most of it is at Sumner's house, I think.
Well, some of it is at my house.
Some of it is at your house.
Some of it is at my house.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Right now, I love the yarn, but I purchased the Rowan soft yak, which is a cotton and yak, and I'm making
Interesting combination.
yes. I don't know if we can. My lighting.
Okay,
is
spotlight Sumner now so we can see his knitting.
so dark.
Just a minute. Where'd he go?
It's so dark here.
I'm gonna
That
wait.
light is blowing me out.
There you go.
Hmm.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. This is a Martin Story pattern. I think that's his name.
So this is, it's
from-
like half yak and half cotton?
It's Rowan has these crazy dark bands.
Yeah. We could see the word Rowan, but I couldn't see what was under it.
That's all we can.
76% cotton, 15% yak, and then 9% nylon.
And what's it called? Rowan what?
Soft yak
Soft.
in DK. Yeah, soft yak.
Hmm.
So yeah, Mongolian yak.
Mhm.
But I have to say, for a cotton, it knits beautiful, and it's not going to stretch.
Because you swatched, so you know.
Yeah, I swatched. I did. And I washed it, and I threw that swatch everywhere. I put it in bags. I did everything with it. And then I didn't start knitting for weeks after, just to see what did it do? What did the swatch shrink, or, you know? But wow, it takes a long time for me to knit this. I started this week, and I have a lot more to go.
So
Wow,
the
hurry
lesson about
up.
swatch.
God,
the
how
lesson
slow
for
you're
everybody to
getting.
learn about the swatch is not only should you make one, even if you hate to make swatches, you should take the measurements from that swatch, and you should also block it and maybe even carry it around a while and all
Yeah,
the
and then
things
measure it
that
again.
Sumner just said he did,
Yeah.
and then see whether it's bigger or smaller. Take all the measurements again and see how they compare, because
Right.
you never know. Some sweaters will get bigger when you block them, and some will get smaller, and
Right.
and some will stay the same. So it's really important to take the measurements before blocking and after blocking on your swatch. And the measurements you enter into the website to get the right size sweater is the measurements after blocking. So you may think the sweater's too tight when you're making it, because that swatch actually grew when you blocked it and you put in the large and the
Right. You
that
put in the
measurement.
wrong dimensions.
Yeah. No, you put in the right dimensions for the blocked swatch.
Yeah, that's why with the sweater class, it's like truly going to be, we are going to make a swatch, and you're going to you're going to block
I
it.
don't like it.
I'm going to show you how to block it. And then we're not going to touch the measurements for another week,
Yeah.
because you're going to carry it around in your bag, and then we'll measure it.
I had a lovely regular customer come in today who wanted to make this sort of kimono style top. It actually wasn't a kimono style top at all. It was more of a yukata top. But she had a like a 75% cotton, 25% wool yarn that she had in her stash that she was thinking of making it with, which was lovely, except that the all over stitch pattern was garter stitch.
Oh, no.
Well,
That's gonna
Um,
grow.
you
Ah,
could make it, but you will wind up with a dress.
A dress.
yeah.
It because it was so much cotton and it was mercerized cotton.
Oh,
And it will be a heavy dress.
Yeah, the wool is not going
And
to
it will just
hold
kind
that
of
into
like
place.
hang on you like this.
But we
Yeah.
found a nice. All of which is to say, it can also be important to dress your swatch if it's something you expect might change size under its own weight dramatically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything does a bit, but cottons, linens, silks. Once you have a whole sweater,
It's going to
So,
go along.
Mm.
Yeah.
putting them in a
wait.
little weight or hanging up.
Judith is raising her hand.
Yes. Speaking
Judith.
of cotton,
Wait,
does anyone have any suggestion of cotton or cotton blend for a summer top?
I sure do.
For a what?
Tim says he a summer top, something for summer. I'm gonna take a pen.
Like a short sleeve.
Long has a
Yes,
really nice-
short sleeve.
I would recommend this.
Which I'm
This is
taking
Jody
notes.
Long Coastline.
Uh,
And
Summer
this,
Delight.
is this
is
just
also
cotton
really
and
good.
linen?
Summer
Yeah,
Delight is-
cotton, viscose, nylon, and linen. I did a little sweater for a test knit for Ron in this. Again, one of the, I think it was Wisteria Woods tunic. And I did it for my granddaughter. And it is a lovely soft yarn and it washes and dries really, really nicely. And it's cool, but yet it holds its shape. It doesn't droop.
Yay.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Hmm.
So that was
Judith?
very, very nice.
Yeah. Judith,
It's
this is
the
Ronna.
Jody Long,
Yes,
Jody
Ronna,
Long
I'm listening.
Coastline.
I like Pearl Soho's Sweetgrass. And it's 65% organic cotton and 35% superfine alpaca. And it's so soft and so nice.
My goodness.
Ah,
It's-
thank you.
Now,
It's finger weight, but if you
Great.
put two together, you've got a heavy decay.
Right, but I wouldn't mind working with the fingering single.
Do you
Okay.
remember?
I love it.
Do you remember Tim's tank top vest thing that he showed off a few times? The
Yeah.
big stripes. I don't know.
Yes,
Blue and orange or teal,
yeah.
and orange and cream.
So the yarn he was saying he has a recommendation, and
Yes, I do.
Jody Long does not give me $5 to mention these things. I don't know.
They
Probably
he should. He should.
He should. He owes you.
But this is Summer Delight, which is, what are the percentages? 90% cotton, 10% cashmere.
Mm.
And
Oh, that would be delicious.
Tim loves
Really?
it.
I love it.
yum yum.
And
Mm.
it's a DK. And then another one I
And,
particularly.
tell us again the name of that, Ron.
Oh, yes, sorry. You're gonna have to annotate the whole episode. It'll be awful.
I know.
This
Oh,
is
it's
Summer
another Jody
Delight
Long.
by Jody
Summer
Long.
Delight.
From
Mm.
Jody
So
Long.
Tim recommends that after having knit his whole tank in it.
Thanks,
and-
Tim.
This is Mojave by Kelborn Woolens. Come on, focus.
Mojave.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the
that.
California. They have the
like
hat.
the
You
way I
mean.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What is that?
This is 60% cotton, 40% linen. But
Nice.
unlike many linen yarns that feel like twine, and you have to like, oh, you have some?
I have some other colors.
Yeah. The color
Yes,
palette is
it's
great.
a really cool yarn too.
Tim, can you get me one of the Mojave
Yes, there you go.
samples?
It's the Mojave.
The linen content in it is already like pre-brutalized. So
It is.
doesn't
It
feel
sounds
twiny
soft.
at
It's
all.
lovely. It's really
It-
lovely.
It's a very popular summer yarn. And as you may remember, summer is hot around here. So you can see like the drape of it.
Oh,
Mhm.
Nice.
It does. It drapes
Incredible.
really nicely.
And this is a top, this is, I think, or no, I don't know remember what this top is called, but this is 2 strands held together, worked as a worsted.
Ah,
And the
yes,
drape is
Okay.
still like,
lovely.
it
Because
feels
it
beautiful.
is a fingering. Gotta get it over here. It is a fingering weight yarn.
It is, okay.
Oh,
Finger-
nice.
I think they categorize it as sport, don't they?
What do they say?
Yeah.
Oh, they do say it's number 2, so that would be.
Yeah. Because comparable yarn weights for plant-based yarns look smaller than their animal weight companions.
So it's 185 yards for 50 grams.
Grams.
Hmm.
Okay.
Now you got a big decision, Judith.
You asked for
Oh,
recommendations.
I'm
for the
glad
big
you
job.
asked.
As
Thank
someone who
you.
knows from summer,
Yeah, you
Those are-
would.
those are some.
That might be one of my linen sweaters that because after I made the Phrancko linen, it just stretches out so much. I have to wash it every time I wear it. So I need something and that might be one that I think I would like.
Cindy, you live in a log cabin?
I do. We live in a log
Oh.
house. We've been here for 30 years. We just had our 30th year here last week.
Wow.
Near horses. Lucky, lucky you.
We do have horses that are right next to us. My daughter has horses and the barn.
Oh.
We've got real big trees around, firs and cedars and everything. A lot of rocks
And bears.
and bears. We
And
do have
bears.
and beaver and beaver.
Sweet
Coyotes.
grass.
Rana
Here.
posted the information for her
Right.
recommendation.
Thank
Oh,
you so
good.
much, Rana.
You bet.
Rana posted Pearl
Yes.
Soho sweetgrass, 65% organic cotton, 35% superfine alpaca fingering, and its fingering weight 437 yards with or how many ounces or grams, Rana?
100 grams.
It's gotta be 100 for the.
Yeah.
Would
Worth
say
1.5
100.
ounces.
I don't know for sure. It's undyed and there are 6 colors and it goes from just a kind of a bone white through all the tans, and the last one is kind of a gray. So
Oh.
it's great for gradient too.
All right, which
Oh.
are nice colors for summer too, pale and.
Yeah, I really like it a lot.
Well, I have a question for the group. I've run out of ideas. It's time for me to come up with a new idea
How is
for a
that?
new sweater, and nothing has come to mind. I haven't gotten to this point ever before. So
Oh,
somebody tell me some ideas of what I should do for my next sweater.
I find when I'm in a lull or kind of don't know what to do next, going to Ravelry and just going through and getting ideas from there
Oh,
has
yeah.
really spurred up a lot of different ideas. And it may not be a particular sweater, it may be a piece of a sweater or a design or something
Uh-huh.
like that.
Yeah. Now, I would say where your patterns are generally unisex, though because of that, make them more male oriented, right? Because it's so hard to find a good sweater for a guy.
Well,
Really?
I thought most of mine were male oriented.
Well,
The
they're
latest
kind
one
of,
is
well,
clearly
they're kind of
unisex, though. A
unisex.
big rainbow, big butterfly on the front of the sweater is probably unisex. But-
Well, that's just because of how like malleable the pattern is.
Yeah.
I would think a hoodie would be a
That's
really
what I was going to suggest.
Hoodie would be nice, yes.
real
Oh.
nice.
it would be great.
So Tim and I
Cushy.
were also going to say something with a hood
Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
a kangaroo pocket.
I was here and here.
Nice
Rick
bushy
Russ
yarn.
just ready for it. What do you think?
Did
Yeah.
you knit that? Cindy, did you?
No, I
knit
did
that?
not knit that one. This
Oh.
is one that I bought and I've had it for several years. But it is wool. It's
Yeah.
a real
Wow.
fine wool. But, yeah.
I think a
Other
nice
things-
hoodie with the kangaroo pouch.
We,
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
Judith, was it you that did a whole study of hoods?
Yeah.
Well, a small study for for my purpose.
I mean, you studied enough that you decided what you wanted to do and you made
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I can share whatever I found, I'd be happy to.
I would love to know what you found.
Okay, sure.
How can we do that?
We could start by email through Ravelry, like
Mhm.
we did
Okay,
a few times,
yes.
and then see
Do
how
that.
we.
I think that would be a real good next step for me. I did the shawl collar and I've explored
did the
intarsia and a
Henley,
couple of patterns,
with the
and
Henley.
a hood would be a new thing for me.
cable.
And I think that'd be
Oh,
really
we-
great.
We
Yeah,
really.
the nice cushy stitch pattern, you know.
I have another question regarding the shawl collars.
Okay,
If I were to make a cardigan with a shawl collar, and if I wanted it to be quite high at the back of the neck, and that would flip over to cover the neck.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yes.
Does that mean that I need to start with a large neck measurement, or does it
No, I did not. I started
Okay.
with a regular neck measurement. And you put all these extra short rows around the back of the neck to give it the height that it would.
Yeah, you build up slow.
In just a couple
Okay.
of weeks, the shawl collar pattern is going to come out on in Cast On magazine. If you want to see how I did it. About the same time, I hope to add the shawl collar to the website as an option for a collar. And it's not a cardigan, but it's just like the V-neck. You could just not close the bottom and keep going open, and it could be a cardigan.
Is that the one with the blue shawl collar and the green?
Yes, it was the green. It was a blue sweater with a green shawl collar.
Okay, okay, because I was thinking of something that's even larger and that overlaps even more. So that does that mean that you need to do more short rows, or
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the secret?
that's
Start
the
them
secret.
farther apart.
My
they
short
are-
rows,
Right.
started from seam to seam.
Mhm.
All right.
And then each time I came to the end of the last short row, I went, I think, 4 stitches farther on each side. And so you could say go 2 stitches farther on each side, and that will give you a lot more short rows around the back of your neck.
Okay.
And
And
the other thing,
if you want the collar to roll over and spread out, then
Right.
you don't want to do what Sumner suggested, which I followed and I thought was a great suggestion. I wanted my collar to roll over and stand up. And so I did all the short rows, and then when I did the top half of the collar, I used a needle that was 1 or 2 sizes smaller,
Smaller.
so that it made it tighter and pulled it in so that it would
Okay.
stand up.
Okay, I understand. Catherine, you were gonna add something?
yeah, too, if you want it really wide at the top, then you add more increases when you're on the edges when you're going up.
Okay.
Where increases where?
At the outside edge.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what kind you're doing. If you're doing the short row kind,
Oh,
then that's different. But if you're doing the vertical kind for a cardigan, well, then if you're building it up that way, then you
I
add
see.
more on the outside. So I guess it just depends on which kind you're doing.
I haven't thought about that other kind. I haven't. So
While we're on the
you
topic.
can describe it for us.
Yeah.
So this is if you're knitting the shawl collar.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
actually, that's how I'm doing this, but I got it from Shirley Payton. I did not
I see.
invent it.
mm,
You can't tell very much because this is really wide to start with, but I actually added more stitches at the top. You can see right there and on one side, so that the part that goes around the neck is wider than the button band part.
Right, okay.
So that is what makes it spread out over your shoulders more.
I see.
While we're on the subject, I can share my integrated shawl collar because I just finished a row.
Oh,
Of
good.
And it's
course.
made it look a lot more like itself. So this is a shawl collar cardigan where the shawl collar is knit all in one piece with the
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yes,
looking.
yes.
so this is what I've been
It's
up
just
to.
so lovely.
Wow.
The moral is
It
wonderful.
folds around.
But he's not going to write that up, he said. I think I'm going to hold my breath until he does.
Ron, we are going to have to demand that you write that up.
Okay, just as soon as Cindy finishes her sock.
Okay. I will do it. It might not fit anybody, but I will do it.
So that's how it looks from the back. And
Okay,
I
For
just
the
love
width-
that. That is so nice.
That's awesome.
for the width,
for the width, I did it the same width as my shoulder,
okay,
which is quite large on me, but presumably your shoulders are
proportionally.
proportional to you. But now this cardigan makes more sense than it did when it was a baby.
Yeah.
So you can see that.
Right.
That
The
is
reason
just
I base it on the V-neck. Can you see?
Okay.
Where the,
You can see that it goes like that, not
yeah,
the straight
the
up.
stitch,
Yes,
the
yes,
garter
yes,
stitch is shrinking, and
Right.
whatever this stitch is growing
yes.
down to a 2-inch band
Mhm.
from however wide my shoulders are. That wide.
So that's fun.
Okay,
Wow.
I have to explore.
Thank you
There
for sharing that. We
many
finally get to
options
see
for
what
the
you've been
shawl
working on, Ron.
I will consider it once Cindy sends me a notarized sock.
Okay. I can
Right.
probably
Before we
just
go,
send
I
the
thought I'd
sock,
show
'cause I'm
you
not
my
sure it's gonna
progress.
fit me, and I might not finish the second one ever.
Cindy.
Oh, Tim would like to show his progress too. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We might run a minute over.
But quickly, hold it up, Tim.
Okay.
Here's where I
Oh,
am.
nice.
It's like
Look
at that.
beautiful. Oh, the
Oh, very
yellow and
pretty.
the blue is
The next,
perfect, Frank.
very next round, I will isolate the sleeves from the body. So I'm really excited to get to that
Oh,
point. And then
gosh.
Oh,
the
nice.
butterfly
I know when you get
will,
that, it makes it go so fast, doesn't it?
yeah, the butterfly will
It's
finish
beautiful.
faster after that. I
Oh,
can't get
beautiful,
it straight.
beautiful,
There you
beautiful.
go.
And
And
it's
that's your
just at the
target
right
in the
spot.
room, like your video.
And Tim, where's Tim?
Oh, look
There we
at that.
go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Oh,
his
that is
placket is
so
very
nice.
deep.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Hmm.
He wanted a
Great
very
job,
sassy placket.
I wanted to be cheeky.
Ooh.
So
We wouldn't expect you to be anything else, Tim.
there's
Look at that.
That is lovely.
That's
That's
also the
nice.
Jody Long.
no, this is
Yeah,
Nimbus by Juniper Moon Farm.
Okay.
It's a cotton.
Okay.
Hmm. That's nice.
That's great,
Yes.
Tim.
Yeah,
Very nice.
that's really
Nice
nice.
work.
It has a beautiful drape. Classic Tim colors.
Mhm.
So Tim stays in the back, but is with us.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's always here.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's nice.
And
Does somebody else have
Jenny,
something they want to show real quick before we go?
Jenny, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I've split for the I've now split the arms, so I've got a bit less of a blob. Hang on a minute if I can hold it up. So moving along. Hold on.
I put
And that's
you
that
on the
lace
spot.
yarn, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
just, the color is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
There you go.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
We're now
Wow.
getting there. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful,
So,
very nice.
Nice,
Beautiful,
look at that.
beautiful.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
It's exciting when you get to that point. You can split the arms off and then start doing just the body.
Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
Then
So
it moves
now just-
along.
Round and round and round now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all. It's been another wonderful meeting. We've enjoyed it so much.
Thank you, Frank.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Well, thank
Till
you,
next
time,
everyone, for
everyone.
your interest.
Bye-bye.
all.
Bye,
Next-
everybody.
Bye.
Have a nice
Bye.
night.